I'm Jimmy J. This is Rewind Live, and next to me is the incredible Harvey Robbins, president and founder of the Doo-Wopp Hall of Fame. Welcome to Rewind.
Thank you so much, Jimmy.
Good seeing you. How you doing?
Thank you. I'm doing really well.
You've been there, done that.
Well, it's been a long time. I was a high school singer with a group called the Interludes in Roxbury Memorial High School, and that was something that never left me. Went on to do the Celtics for many years as a sports writer and efforts to preserve the Prowse Farm in Canton, which I'm still involved with, 37 years pro bono work. But my music is part of my soul, and I always want to be involved with it. And in establishing the Doo-Wop Hall of Fame of America, what we try to do is honor the people, the groups, the individuals in that era of music. Of course, these are the people who were exploited. They never got the royalties, they never got the honors, but by inducting them into the Doo-Wop Hall of Fame, it's a significant landmark in their lives, and many of these artists have been on stage and actually broken down and cried.
I was just going to say that. I know we were at Symphony Hall a few years ago, and I forgot who it was, but somebody just started bawling their eyes out because they said that they hadn't received the honors that they duly deserve, and there it was, you presenting to them, and you know, I shake your hand for that.
All right.
Seriously,
well,
that's
you.
Very, very cool, because these guys need that kind of exposure. You know, they were kicked to the curb, you know, back in the day.
Well, I'm a very emotional, sentimental guy, and I always consider the throwbacks is very important. You know, to me, the most important people in the Celtics history would be Russell and Cousy and, you know, Havlicek, and I go back, Bill Sharman. That's the important part. Bobby Doerr in baseball. I have heroes from the past, and the musicians, the singers that gave me the music personally, and so many thousands, millions of people during the 50s and 60s was part of my growing up, and I feel a sense of attachment to them. And after doing concerts for so long with them, I realized that there was such a gap, that something had never, ever been done for any of these people. They were poor when they were young. They're still poor now they're old, and it just broke me up to see that. And I said, well, I can establish a Hall of Fame, give them that opportunity to walk in the sun at least once with dignity. I can't undo the damage of the past with the royalties that they didn't get and all the fame that was denied them, but at least at one point in life they can look and say, I was honored at Symphony Hall, somewhere prestigious, and people loved me, and that's what I did.
Now this year you're moving it from Symphony Hall.
This is the first year since 2000 that we're not having it at Symphony Hall. I still love the venue, would love to go back there. This year we just couldn't marry the date that we needed. We could only get, the only Sunday we could get was March 1, and I felt with an aging clientele, they weren't going to want to risk going out in the, you know, in the cold of the early winter. It could have been snow, and so we didn't. We are doing it at North Shore Music Theater in Beverly. It's owned by and operated by Bill Haney, who's a friend
great
of mine
guy
of 25
and
years.
a great venue.
Yep.
And for the folks that are listening to us, there's not a bad seat in the house, not one.
No, it's theater in the round, and the stage will rotate. And of course, at North Shore Music Theater, you do have free parking. There's choice parking. You know, you can have $10 parking in a certain area, but basically it's on-site parking and it's free.
And the last time I was there, for the people that are worried about money, I didn't pay to park. I went where everybody else was,
right.
and
Free
it was
parking.
not. It was great. It
Of
was
course.
great, and
It's right there.
It's right there. So
Yeah.
it's like the seats. The parking is great too. I mean, at Symphony Hall, I mean, forget it. You know, you pay what, $40 to park over there.
Not quite,
So,
but and I'll never frown in Symphony Hall. 'Cause I
No,
love
I'm
it
just
to
saying.
death.
This is such a great venue, and it's
Right.
just a great idea. So
Well, the
what's
show's
going to
gonna
happen? It's
be-
October 20th, right?
And we always do, the Doo-Wop Hall of Fame event is always on a Sunday afternoon. It gives the audience a chance to have an afternoon experience, not be out late, etc. It doesn't conflict with work. So it's Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock on October 20th. And this year we are going to be inducting and having full performances by Randy and the Rainbows.
Oh, Dunny, Scooby-Doo. Great
I'm
group.
in love with you.
Yeah, great. Well, don't
Yeah.
tell anybody that. That's kind of kinky. I don't go there.
Ooh, stop it.
No, but they're a great act as well.
Yep,
They
nice
really are.
people. We've had them
Yeah.
at Foxwoods, and they're really nice guys, you know, and we enjoy being with them. And they enjoy the moment. They're still in love with the stage, and really it shows, and it's what you want to see.
Do you think that most of your acts are like that? I mean, is that like almost a prerequisite that, you know, you got to be real, you know, and
Well, if I
just
see a lot
believe
of
the music?
ego, you know, to me, I'm about the music.
Right.
I'm about the people. If it gets to be about litigation and controversy and ego, I just step aside.
Right.
Not interested.
That's great.
Just simply not interested. Too many people who deserve the stage, who want to be there and do not cause any dissension, any difficulty, and love the music, love the stage, and love the fans. And if that isn't the common denominator, I'm just simply not interested.
That's important. Who else do we have?
We have the Orlons. Of course, they did Wah Wah Tusi,
Sure.
South Street, and Don't Hang Up, and No Not Me. Great, great group. And they'll be inducted in the Hall of Fame.
Do you think they've ever been inducted into anything like this before? That should be a pretty
Well, they said they never
major,
have been.
Right, that's got to be a major moment for them.
Of course. It has
Yeah.
Randy and Rainbows. They've
Sure,
never done anything.
sure.
Louise Murray, the first of the female great lead singers of a female group from the Hearts that did Lonely Nights back in '54. And, of course, she also sang with the Janettes that did Sally Go Round the Roses, and she'll get a Lifetime Achievement Award. And then we're going to honor the Dells. They've been inducted in the Hall of Fame, but as you know, a few of them have passed away, a couple of them have passed away. They're not performing, and I do make it very clear, if a group is inducted, they will be honored, but they will not be performing. I don't want to ever pass out some knowledge that someone's going to come to see somebody perform. I make the distinction. There's no lack of credibility in our shows.
The last time I saw the Dells was at the Vocal Group Hall of Fame in 2005, and they were
Yeah.
amazing. And yeah, some of them have passed on, and at least you're honoring them, and it's great.
Yes.
They're a great group, and they're a lot. People that know music know the Dells, but truthfully, there's a lot of white folks out there that may not know the Dells.
No idea.
Exactly.
No idea.
I don't know if you're aware, but I used to work at WILD. I was Jay Michaels. I did the Time Tunnel. I was the only white guy on the all-black radio station, so I get to know all these people.
Skippy White.
Skippy White too. Yep. Skippy White did the Gospel Power Hour in the morning.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right. I still like Skippy a lot.
Yeah, he's great. He's
Yep.
great. So who else do we
And
have?
then we're going to have return performances by the Marcells.
I see that.
And also
Blue Moon. Right?
That's right, and Heartaches.
Heartaches.
Yep.
I used to love that song.
Yep. And also we're going to have Leon Hughes and Adolph Jacobs. They are the two surviving original members of the Coasters.
Wow.
Now, a lot of people don't know that. Historically, it's always a confusion, etc. But they don't go out as the Coasters because there's legality involved.
Right, Carl Gardner's wife owns it and that whole thing.
All of that.
Right.
So it's simply the way it always is. Leon Hughes, an original Coaster in his LA group with Adolph Jacobs. Now, if you have the first album ever recorded by the Coasters, which is a blue background of a roller coaster, there are 5 people standing. The first one holding a guitar is Adolph Jacobs. Fourth one in is Leon Hughes. They are 2 of the original members and the only 2. So we're going to bring them back from California.
That's awesome.
And that's really nice. And maybe we'll have some more added folks. It's a possibility as well. Ron McFadden sometimes comes up on our shows, as you know. Ron, very frequent on our shows, the son of Clyde McFadden, the original leader of the Drifters, and also the son of Ruth Brown. A lot of people don't know he's Ruth Brown's son as well. And he does a show called The Legacy of Clyde McFadden and the Drifters. And he's second to none. Tremendous performer. Tremendous. So it's always a great show. We have these inductions. There's a speech or two by people, but it's not encumbered by a lot of dialogue. It's full performances by the inducted groups and their expression of thanks and gratitude.
And you and your band play too.
We'll back it up, but I don't sing on the Hall of Fame show because I don't think that's appropriate.
Well, that's pretty nice of you.
Well,
So let's talk about some of the people you've met in the past that really impressed you.
Well,
I mean, I know there's a lot, but
I guess I'll give you a few just that comes to mind. Maybe the nicest group of people that I ever worked with were the All Original Silhouettes. All 4 deceased now, and that was a very heartbreaking experience to see them all go away. But at one show, I had them at North Shore Music Theater. We all finished. It was a bus. We were all going back to the hotel, and nobody knew where the Silhouettes were. I said, where are the guys? Where are the guys? I don't know. I said, well, let me just go back into the building. And I go back, and there they were in the dressing room, cleaning the dressing room.
wow, amazing.
Is that not amazing?
That's amazing, amazing.
That just stands out
Oh,
to
yeah.
me. And as far as singers are concerned, Some of the greatest ones, Rudy West, had Rudy West. I mean, oh my gosh, with the Five Keys. Willie Winfield from the Harp Tones, Johnny Maestro, bless his heart, and all of them.
That was tragedy. I don't know if you know, but I spoke at his funeral. I mean, that was like,
know.
oh, man. I mean, even to be asked to speak at his funeral was enough. And then, it's like Johnny and I have been friends since like 1968, and and then this year I lost a very close friend, Marshall Lytle, the original bass player of Bill Haley's Comets.
Yep.
Marshall and I went to England together. We Cincinnati. We've done all kinds of things together, and I know what it's like, man, when you lose these people. Not only is the country losing a national or international treasure, but we're losing personal friends that, who would have thought? Seriously, Harvey, would you have ever thought in your wildest dreams when you were like 12, 13, 14 years old that these people would be becoming your friends?
Well, that's it. When I first started to do the shows, it was an awe-inspiring to be actually in the same company as these people. And then when I became friends with them, and I guess the greatest example was Hank Ballard. Hank Ballard brought me to this music. And when I became friends, he'd call me up very late, and because he was in California, and he wasn't mindful of the time, so it would be like 3 in the morning, the phone would ring, it's midnight, and it'd say, "Mr. Humanity, this is Hank." He called me Mr. Humanity. "This is Hank," and he would just talk endlessly, and we would scream and tell me crazy things about Little Richard and all personal things. Oh my gosh, and I would laugh and laugh and laugh. And, I'd sit there while I was talking to him saying, "This is amazing. He's the man that brought me to this music. He is my favorite of favorites of all time, and we're buddies."
It's the same thing with me and Bobby V. Bobby's pretty ill right now, but, all these artists, I look at my phone, and when my phone rings and I see it's an artist, I go, still, to this day, and, just like you, we've met them all, okay? But we're fans first. That's what puts us different than some other people. A lot of people are about the money and about the prestige and all this stuff. But, man, we want the music to be told and people to be paid the way they should be paid. And we want people to see the real deal, and they get that with you. They get that with the Rewind Show. And, what about Diamond Dave Somerville now? Talk about a class act.
Well, Dave Somerville just checked into my hotel where I live here in Westford at the Marriott Residence Inn. And Dave flew in just now to do a show, which will be on August 10th.
Right.
Because I don't know when
we already did this, but yeah.
Right. And Billy Davis will be coming in from Detroit tonight. He'll be picked up, and he'll be over there. And Billy will stay in my room because we've been buddies for the longest time. I met him when he was performing with Hank Ballard and the Midnighters. He's the longest-standing member of the Midnighters. And Billy was inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2012. He was Jimi Hendrix's first guitar tutor, co-composed and played lead guitar in the original version of The Twist that Chubby Checker copied, and he also was Jackie's guitarist on Higher and Higher. They grew up together in the streets of Detroit, having ties from back when they were kids in Mississippi.
I was with Jackie the week before he had a stroke.
Oh, my God.
A week to the day before he had a stroke.
Wow. I never met Jackie, but through Billy, I met Jackie.
I didn't take a picture. Oh. You know what I worried about? I had a friend of mine who was... His goal in life was to meet Jackie Wilson, and I made sure he got the picture, and then we got to talking, and I totally forgot. That's where I first met a guy that I know you know very well as well, Bobby Tossin and Turnin Lewis. Now,
Absolutely.
What a story he is. He is a fun guy.
Bobby Lewis is right out there. Let's put it that way.
He's hilarious, man.
Yeah, we honored him at the Doo-Wop Hall of Fame, not a doo-wop singer, but, the President's Award, which is the Lifetime Achievement Award, that's my discretion. The people who have voted in, I'm only one of 230, 240 voters. I can't vote anyone in, but I can give a presidential award for Lifetime Achievement. And I gave one to Bobby. I knew that Bobby had never received anything in his life. And he was one of those people on stage. He was just so inspired. He says, I've never gotten anything. I've been doing this for 60 years. I've never gotten anything. And you don't want a person to not have that moment.
And him and Jackie were like that, I don't know if you know Jackie Wilson.
I did not know that.
They were very, in fact, in his closet at his house, he has a jacket that Jackie Wilson gave him hanging up. And he says, when he goes, he's giving it to me. I said, yeah, baby. But he travels by train. He's funny. He can hardly see.
I brought him on a cruise. Did you know that?
Oh, no, I didn't know that.
Yes.
Really?
Oh, yes. I said, Bobby, please don't walk the plank while you're here. I did. I brought him for a week-long cruise to Bermuda. I was so scared every minute of the day, but we escorted him to his meals, to the restrooms, to the stage.
He's a funny man.
Try to take care of people as best we can. We did that with Joe Stubbs, the lead singer of the Falcons, who had issues too, and we brought him in several cruises. What a great singer.
Now tell us about your cruises.
Well, we do this every year. This is our 23rd year now. It's 1 week, Boston and Bermuda. This coming year, which will be the 2014, it's May the 16th or the 23rd, the Norwegian Dawn. And we're not paid to perform. We go in as a group. So what we do, all the bookings go through Cruise Holidays of East Providence, so people can call me and I'll put them in touch with them. And we do 3 concerts during the week. This year I'll be bringing Tony Funches, who formerly sang lead with the Platters for many years, Billy Davis, as we know from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I just gave his credentials. Judy, Tio, and myself sing with Billy. That's part of the All-Stars group. And Louise Murray and her husband Don Gatling, who's a member of the Jesters. And we're also going to bring an Elvis Presley impersonator named Dana Z, who's a good friend. Over the years, we've had Bobby Lewis. We've had Tommy Hunt. Many, many, many times we had Gene Pitt. We had Gene's brother Frank Pitt, Herbert Pitt. We've had Doug McClure, who sang lead with the Flamingos for some years. And I'm trying to think. It's escaping me now, but we've had many others.
You've had them
over
all.
The years. Yes.
What's your website so people can find you?
All right, it's harveyrobbins.net. It's Harvey Robbins. Robbins has 2 B's, harveyrobbins.net. Or you can email me at harveyrobbinspersonal@gmail.com.
Do you answer your email personally?
I answer that as well as my phone at 978-256-6472. I answer everything personally.
That's very cool.
Because that's the way it should be.
So the date is October 20th, Sunday, 2 o'clock, North Shore Music Theater. It's the 13th Annual National Induction and Gala Concert for the Doo-Wopp Hall of Fame of America, and this is the guy right here.
Thank you so much. They can call me, as I said, for tickets, or North Shore Music Theater, NSMT, NorthShoreMusicTheater.org, or their number 978-232-7200. And it's Sunday afternoon, 2 o'clock, October 20. It's a chance to not only experience the music in its most realistic way, but to also honor the artists who will be inducted that day. It's their moment, and it'll be nice when they look out and see a lot of people loving them.
Harvey Robbins, thanks for being on Rewind Live. It's been cool.
Thank you, my friend. Appreciate it.
You too, buddy. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
There he is, Harvey Robbins. I'm Jimmy J.